their school had a really good sports attitude, right? And they had a lot of teachers who liked football. So when I'd gone there the first day, I'd started late around the Christmas period. The first day the teachers saw me play football, they were amazed at what they were seeing. So, but I always knew in myself that I had a talent that was different from other people. But then I said to myself, look, I'm going to need to be able to have faith in myself to be able to make it. So I was playing in competitions, I was winning medals every left, right and centre. I was making friends based on my ability to play football. But then people would almost catch up with you, or you'd make friends with somebody else who's probably near enough good, maybe better than you. I had to work harder than that person. I had to then back my faith up with the work. And if I back my faith up with the work, talent is only 2%, the rest is sweating. The rest, 90%, 98% is perspiration. We all know that, and that's what the faith, you believe in yourself, that's got talent in it. But the work is massive, huge.
So is it fair to say that the better you got, the more determined you were to work harder to be better again? Definitely,
definitely, because there's no footballer that's been made that's flawless. Lionel Messi, Maradona, Pele, you can name them all. They're all flawed somewhere along the line. So they had to work hard, and they will tell you that they had to work massively hard. One thing that I knew when I was growing up, outside influences always told me you have to work very, very hard to get what you want. You learn those things in your very, very early years, but you tend to forget those things as you get more successful maybe. But do what you did that got you to where you are.
We talk a lot about maximising strengths and improving weaknesses. When you're along this path of self-awareness, how important was faith to you when in times of difficulty?
Huge, huge. Because, okay, at 15, I hadn't been picked up by a football club, but I knew I had something. So this must happen to a lot of kids. It must happen to a lot of kids in football. So I then said to myself, okay, I'm going to have faith in my own ability. I'll still keep working hard, still keep my head down. Everybody else, all my friends, everybody's going to Birmingham City, West Brom, they're going to Villa. I had to find faith in myself. I had to keep that drive going, because if the minute I stop, the minute it goes. Okay, so I had that foresight to be able to keep that work going, keep my faith, and I knew I had to back up my own talent. And then I just knew that I was going to get somewhere. Then people came knocking.
So how, during those times of challenge, did you build self-belief? Did you build confidence? Where did you find that driving force again? Because now you're out there, you've achieved a little bit, but you've still not quite made it yet. Where did you gain that confidence from?
Likewise, I'll go back to the very basic route again. I'll go back straight to my mum. Sometimes I bring up the phone and say, Mum, nobody's coming in for me. You know, moaning, crying. Mum, nobody's coming for me. She said, have faith, son. People, you've got a special talent. People have told me that you've got a special talent. Okay? Just have faith in yourself. Believe in your own ability. Okay? I spoke to a relative. He said, you're going to be very, very well known for what you do. Yeah? And I believed in this. I was a sponge at that time. So I was a sponge. I'd take everything in. I'd listen to what he said. Anything he said that was rubbish, I'd dash it out. But, you know, I'd listen to that. But then, it's how my brain processed it. I believed then that I was going to be a little bit special, a little bit more special than the layman who was just kicking football. And that's what it turned out to be, because I had the faith.
Absolutely. So faith is, taking a quote from the Bible, faith is defined in the Proverbs as being something sure of what we hope for and certain of what we can't see.
Yeah.
So you were sure of what you hoped for was going to be a professional footballer.
Yeah.
And what you couldn't see yet was that contract in front of you.
Yeah.
But you had a firm belief and a faith to manifest it into being an important lesson for everybody, not just in football, but again, in any walk of life. So as you began to climb closer to your pinnacle, that actual professional contract, and then later on representing your country in the World Cup, is it fair to say that there became more challenges along the way as you progressed and got better?
Yeah, definitely. No matter what, when you're climbing the mountain and you get up to the top of that mountain, I always just put it in an analogy. When I was doing a run, and in Torquay. Torquay's full of hills, by the way. I hate it, but it was full of hills, and we used to do this run, and we used to have to go up this massive long hill to finish off with, and then finish off by going down the hill. I'd worked ever so hard to get to the top of the hill. When I got to the top of the hill, I'd put the brakes on when I'm going down the hill, and it's freewheeling time. Didn't need to do that, because then that's when you need to work just as hard to get yourself as well, because then you need to keep yourself on an even keel, because so many of us get to where we want to get to, then we think, well, what's the Williams sisters? You know, people are asking questions about whether they still want it because they've achieved so much. So, yeah, there were massive challenges. I got into a football club, Torquay United. There was all the powers. I was only a 16-year-old, and as a 16-year-old, I was very small, 5'5" maybe, but I was playing with the older men, 29, 30, 40 years old, and some of those guys weren't believing in me. Some of them took me under their arm, but some of them did not believe in me, and I was quite impressionable like that. So there was a challenge. I couldn't quite cross the ball correctly, or I had lots of tricks, but I didn't have the A to B little basics in football that you need to do to be a footballer. So I identified that I have to work hard at this. So these challenges presented themselves. So I had to work twice as hard to be on